Oh yeah, let's go. Please, do you still remember that I said that the magnitude of A is equals to the square root of A dot A? Shebi? Is it true? And that the magnitude of B is equals to root B dot B. Is it true? Please, if you are coming today is your first day, write it down. Those of you coming late, check their notes, what we've done so far. So far, so good, we've treated biology. I gave them past questions, 20 of it. Check their notes, don't just come and sit down. Check their notes. Now, please, this magnitude of A from this question, our last class, did we find the magnitude?
Yes.
So, what's our answer?
Magnitude of A.
1, 7, 0, 7, 1, 1, like this. It's not only one person that's in this class. What about magnitude of B? What did we get? 7.8. Be checking it. Is it correct? What about A dot B? What did we get? 7. Shebi? And the question is now asking us to find the angle between A and B. Don't be so? And if I remember very well, can I clean this? Copy this. If I remember very well, our last class, I told you that the formula for finding the angle between A and B, or finding the angle between vectors, is simply, if it's dot product, you do A dot B is equals to magnitude of A, magnitude of B, cos theta. Do you still remember? Did I give me cos theta in that question? They did not give us theta, and theta is the angle we are looking for. You understand? So A dot B is 7. Magnitude of A is 7.0711. Then magnitude of B is 7.8740 cos theta. Do you know that this is the sentence as saying, divide both sides by the coefficient of cos theta. Shebi?
Yes.
So that I will now have divided by 7. In fact, multiply these two first. Let's see what you have. 55 points. 5.7. 5.6778. Is it like this?
Yes.
Cos theta equals to 7. So to make theta subject of the formula, we have to divide by the coefficient of cos theta, which is now the same as divided by 5.6778. I told you I don't like approximating beyond 4 decimal places until I get to my final answer. Because sometimes you do that, your answer will change, your final answer will change. So always try to see that you don't approximate below 4 decimal places until your final answer. So that this now becomes the sentence as saying, this will cancel this. Should it? So that I now have cos theta is equals to 7 divided by 55.6778.
0.1257.
1257. Like this? Is this what you have? Do you know that this is the sentence? Do you know that this is the sentence? Cos theta is equals to 0.1257. Should you know? So that theta is equals to, when cos cross equality sign, what happened? So this is the sentence, cos inverse of 0.1257. So when you do that, what's your answer?
82.778.
So it was 82. approximately or is equal to 83 degrees. So this is our answer. This is our answer. You know that this is very simple. Should be, you know. I ask. Do you understand this formula?
Like that 7 before that is very heavy.
Which one?
The 7.
Where I got it. We are in our last class, our first class on vectors. Are you here? That's why. We've treated the question and we got this 7. This 7 is our A dot B. We'll take another question so you understand better. This is our A dot B. That's 7. This one is our magnitude of A. This one is our magnitude of B cos theta. That's how we got it. If you don't understand this, just copy. But the reason why we wrote these values down is because we've already gotten it before now. So copy. This is the angle between them. So theta is equal to 83 degrees. Look at what we did here now. Cos theta is equal to 0.1257. So that theta is the angle, not cos. So that theta, if you make theta subject of the formula, is the same thing as saying divide both sides by the coefficient of theta. And the coefficient of theta here is what? Cos. Are you aware? So that when you divide this by cos, this now means that on this other side, cos will be under. Here now, cos will be under. This thing will be 0.1257 divided by cos. And when something is under, English said that if you bring it up, it becomes -1. So this is not something as cos inverse. So anytime cos cross a quality sign, it becomes cos. It becomes cos inverse. So since this crossing over, it would have been 0.1257 all over cos. Do you know that this is the same thing as saying? This is the same thing as saying theta is equal to 1 over cos times 0.1257. Should be, you know. And anything that has 1 over is the same thing as inverse. So that this now becomes the same thing as saying cos is equal minus 1, then times this, which is 0.1257. That is how we got it. Because we divided both sides. This was cos theta. We divided this by the coefficient of theta. So that we now have theta equals theta is equals. Alright. Can I clean? Can I clean? Let's take another question. We will do the cross product, but let's take another question that has to do with dot product and cross product so that everybody will follow. Like people that did not attend the first class will follow us. Are you ready? If I have A or E to equal to 9R plus J minus 40, then I have H to be equal to 3R minus 7G plus 5P. Now the question is saying, this is vector. Should I told you that anything like this means vector, should be? What of when I have something like this? When I have this caret, what does it mean? Magnitude, shall we? Okay. Then when I have J, I, or whatever, like all these things, what is it called? Unit vector. And I said that if you are doing dot product of vector, that is simply equals to 1, shall we? Alright, so now in this question they are telling me that vector E is equals to 9I plus J minus 4K, and vector H is 3I minus 7J plus 5K. They are not asking me, one, A, right. They are asking me to find the magnitude of E. They're telling me to find the magnitude of E, to find the magnitude of H, the magnitude of A, find the magnitude of A and B, that is E and H. Find the magnitude of vector E and H. A, find the magnitude of E and H. Find the magnitude of E and H. B, find the scalar product of E and H. That is, find the scalar product of vector E and H. Find the angle between them. Find the angle between them. C, shall we? Find the angle between them. Now D, find the cross products of E, of vector E and H. Find the cross product of vector E and H. Find the cross products of vector E and H. Are you there? Are you there? If you are there, now they went on to show, to say E, question E. Show that vector E and vector H. When I say vector E and vector H, it means if you write E, you put R on top of it. Show that vector E and vector H are mutually perpendicular. Show that vector E and vector H are mutually perpendicular. Show that vector E and vector H are mutually perpendicular. Are you there? Alright, now let's check something. First of all, they said we should find the magnitude of A and B, right? And we know that the formula for magnitude, if we are to find the magnitude of E, this vector, that is the same thing as saying, if I don't represent it like this, I can represent it like this. Do you still remember? Yes. This is the same thing as saying E dot E. The magnitude of E is the same thing as saying E dot E. So that is to say that this is the same thing as saying everything I have here twice. This is the same thing as saying 9I plus J minus 4K dot 9I plus J minus 4K. That is E dot E. E dot E. That is how you find the magnitude. The square root of E dot E gives you the magnitude. So that this, because, and remember I told you that if we do I times another unit, it will turn to 0. Shall we? Yes. You still remember? So here, there's no need going to times any of this. Just come and take the one that has I to it and times. This could have been the same thing as saying 9I squared, J squared, and 4K squared. But for the sake of teaching, that's why I'm putting it in these two places. When we learn it very well, there will be no reason for us repeating it. If we just come take 9I, repeat it, we know that when 9I go twice, the I will be times I, which will change to 1. But now let's do it together. Equals to square root of 9I times 9I. 80. Will I have 81I? No. Because when the I times I, it becomes 1. plus j times j. 1, Shebi? Now, minus 4. Minus times minus will become what? 4 times 4. 16. Now, k times k. 1, Shebi? Now, 1 times 16. 16, Shebi? You see it. The reason why we wrote this one down is because there's nothing to it. Are you noticing it? So, 81 plus 1 plus 16, what do you have? 98. 98. So this is the sentence. Is equals to, so this is equals to root 98. Does root 98 give us any square? Like any number that is a perfect square, does 98 have any perfect square in it? No. Square root of 98 is what?
9.899.
9.8999. So there's no perfect square inside 98. Are you sure? Do you know how to get perfect square? Let's check. If I have 98, what can go here? Can 2 go here? Yes. So that I get what? 49. This is 45 first, should be? Then 8, 4, 49. Okay. If 7 go here, 7 should be? Okay. That means that 98 is the centenars. This is the centenars. Remember, I said the one facing it, ignore it. This is the centenars 49 times 2. Not so. So this is the centenars 49 times 2. Those at the back, can you see the board? And here. Can I clean this? Can I clean this? What about this? Those of you just coming, if I say no, if you are just coming, you look at your neighbor's wall. So this is the sentence I'm saying root 49 times root 2. Should you know? Yes. And this is the sentence I'm saying 7 root 2. Don't be so? Yes. But check if the answer you got. Root 2 times 7. What do you have? Is he giving you the sentence? Make sure you take it to the lowest. Make sure you take it to the lowest before you can say that this is your answer. So this is the sentence as 7 root 2. So and 7 root 2 is the sentence as, it says what? 9.894. 9.8994. I also advise you to make sure that you don't approximate. You don't approximate beyond 4 decimal places until you get to your final answer. So let's now check for the magnitude of vector h. Let's now find the magnitude of vector h. If we say 8 is 8. We say 8 is 8. Can I clean this? Copy. What answer? He said, can we leave the answer in short form? No. The reason is because when you find this magnitude, definitely it will be required of you to find the angle between the vector, the first vector, and the second vector. And you can't use this to find that angle. So that's why we break the short form down to decimal. But assuming it's mathematics, we can leave it. But when it's physics and you're treating vector, and notice that when you are treating vector, you don't introduce that normal plus or minus before a root. Shebi, this is the only time when you are doing anything and you see square root, you don't introduce plus or minus before the square root. Are you done? Yes, that's why I gave you this formula. Now, this is the formula. Anytime you're asked to find magnitude, this is the formula. If you're asked to find the magnitude of E, it means E dot E. Whatever value it has, times it. Any other question? So the second question there, he said we should find the magnitude of E and H, Shebi. We need to be fast. So today's class, I said even when I was coming at this one, I said today's class, I will not waste time. I want it to be that if I come, we cover 3 courses, Monday and Saturday. Then during the week, we can be treating one course or two courses. But today, we must treat 3 courses. That's why when I came here today, I did not bother waiting for anybody. And good number of students were here early enough. I can tell you, Shebi. Let's now find the magnitude of H. Magnitude of H is the same thing as writing it this way, or you write H and put OE on top of it. It's this thing. We'll call this carets. Magnitude of H. Now, I said that this will be the same thing as square root of H plus H. Assuming it's mathematics, I'll put plus or minus. Today, let's try to see if we can cover everything on vectors so that we will not have business with it. Today, we'll enter solution in chemistry. Then we'll treat solution and concentration. And concentration of solution is also called components of the solution. So now watch. What did they give me for H? H in the question, vector H is equal to what? 7i plus
is 3i. 3i minus 7.
3i
Plus 5k.
Is it like this? Yes. Hope we ate before coming. Eh? Because we are doing like Gary people. I want to see. This is the same thing as saying roots. Should you know that this same thing as saying multiply this thing twice? Do you know that this is the same thing as saying this one square, this one square, this one square? Shebi, you know. But because of you, for the fact that you are still new, we've not gotten to that level. We are still breastfeeding you. Let me do this. So that I will now have, if I do 3i times 3i, what will happen? Dot 3i. 9i dot I will be what? 1 times 9. Well, minus 7 dot minus 7. Minus dot minus will be what? Greatness. You did not come here on Saturday. Big ball. Is that right? Now, 7 dot 7 is going to be what? J dot J will be what? 1 times 49. Now let's move to this one. Plus 5 dot 5.
25.
K dot K. 1 dot 1. That is 1 times 25. 25. Notice the reason why I am not doing our normal mathematical method of saying use this, times this, use this, times this, use this, times this. Now come, use this, times it. Anything that is not carrying the same alphabet, if you times it, it will give you 0. So it's of no use. If I use this now and times this, it will give me 0. If I use this and times this, it will give me 0. Because the rule said that anytime a unit vector times a unit vector that is not of the same component with it, that it will change. And it will turn to 0. That is why we said that when something is happening at x components, and is not obtaining an angle, that it has no business with y components. We'll still get there. I'll still teach you that. Now watch. Let's now sum this up. 9 plus 49 is what? 58. 58 plus 25 is what?
83.
50.
83.
83. So I carry here. 58. I carry 2, 57, 8. Try to put check. Let's check, please. Let's break this down. If I have 83, because the last number is 3, can 3 divide this? Is it possible? Is it possible? Can anything divide this number? Check. Oh. Okay, that means this number can be divided by 1 and itself. Okay, that means it's a prime. So root 83, what do you have? 9? Any other thing after 4? Okay. So the magnitude of H is 9.1104. Have you did it?
Yes.
You will not approximate. Don't. Is this the one you're seeing? Are you seeing this one here? There? Don't approximate. The only time I would have approximated is maybe that thing behind 4 is maybe 5 or 6. I can now approximate. Eh? That first one, what happened to it? Okay, wait. Magnitude of E is supposed to be what? 9.899. Okay, you're saying it's supposed to be. Is it 4 we wrote here before? Yes. Anytime you see long number, your calculator is giving you a long number. After the first 4, that is after the first 4 decimal points, if the last number after it is maybe 6, 5, convert it to 1 and put here. But if it's below, ignore it. Ask a question. Since you're not using the short form of it. Yeah. It's a must. No knowledge is a waste. You know knowledge. If you don't put it, nobody will question you. Yes. But we have to exhaust. We have to be sure that what we are doing is complete. That is why when I got 98, even, do you know that one course leads to other? Everything you have in physics is in mathematics. Everything you have in chemistry is in physics. It's just that it answers different names. So the knowledge you get here will not only help you in physics, but as you progress to mathematics, there are cases when you rush and do this thing like this. But naturally, it is required that you first of all convert it to short form. So if you now know that you have to convert it, and we got 7 root what? Or is it 2 root 7? Shall we?
7 root 2.
Okay, thank you. So when we've gotten this, maybe 7 root 2 now, since we now know that this is our answer, and because of the fact that it's physics, we are doing vector, the only difference is when it has to do with this, that you have to convert to decimal, and you don't put plus or minus before your square root. So that knowledge is important. You have to check, it's important. So that as you've learned it in physics, you will still take it to your mathematics. Alright, so we've been able to get our magnitude for H, and we've gotten our magnitude for E. Do you know that this thing is the same thing as saying there is no guesswork? Anytime I'm doing anything on vector, I need to know that when they give me figures or components and it's carrying unit vectors, that what they will ask me is either to find magnitude of each one. That is, in the case where they gave me E and H, and it's carrying these components, that they will ask me to find the magnitude of this one. You need to note this thing, and the magnitude of the other one. And that when I'm done, they'll ask me to find the scalar product of this and this. That when I find it, the next thing they can ask me is to find the angle between them. Once you know this thing now and you know the formulas, you've already conquered vectors when it has to do with dot products. When it's now cross product, I'll still teach you. I'll teach you after this now because we have question on that cross product. Now when they say mutually perpendicular, it means that the dot product should give you 0. Yes. So, can I continue? Alright, so note this our magnitude. Write it somewhere. So that we check the scalar product of E and H. Okay, that's the next question. So E dot H. E dot H. This is called a scalar product because I told you that dot product is also called scalar product, Shebi? So E dot H. How do we do it? What did I give you for E? E is what? In fact, help me from your book. E, like what values did I give you for E? Was this plus or minus I put here? Check, is this in the center you have? So they're not asking us to find E dot H. The scalar product of these two vectors. Do you know that this thing is something I say 9I plus J minus 4K plus 3I minus 7J plus 5K. Check. Oh yeah. So when we see this, we will just multiply I and I. The one that is carrying I will multiply it. We ignore I multiplying any other thing there. So that if I want to do it very well, the way you want it, first of all, 9 times 3 is what? 9 times 3, remove 3. 2 and 7, should it? Yes. 27. I times I is what? 1. What I see? 9 times 7 is going to be, because I and J wants it me to change it to be 0. And when that value of 9 and 7 times with 0, it will become 0. So there's no need. So let's just do
that you use that one on top to multiply the one down. For the father that give the sort of help. You multiply 9 by 3.
because this is I, this is I. This and this will times. This and this will times. This and this will times. Oh yeah. J times 7J. J times minus 7J. Minus 7. These things are simple, very simple. But I know that why I'm taking it slowly is because some people during secondary school, they didn't solidify it. Now, minus 4K times plus 5K. Minus 20. 27 minus 7 minus 20. A vector can be said to be mutually perpendicular if the dot product of the two vectors gives 0. So because of the fact that the dot product of E and H is giving us 0, that means that this vector is mutually perpendicular. Should I repeat?
Yes.
Vector E and H and vector H. Whenever you hear vector E, don't go and writing vector, write E, put arrow. An arrow is used to show that it's a vector. Vector E and vector H are said to be mutually perpendicular if their dot product yields 0. Vector E and vector H are said to be mutually perpendicular if the dot product yields 0. Vector E and vector H are said to be mutually perpendicular if their dot product yields 0. Are you there? Vector E and vector H that we have here are said to be mutually perpendicular if their dot products yields 0. Vector E and vector H are said to be mutually perpendicular if the dot product yields 0. Now, since the dot product yields 0, since the dot product yields 0, what angle do you think is between them? What angle do you think is between them? I said vector E and vector H are said to be mutually perpendicular if the dot product yields 0. So now, how do we find the angle? Should I say we should find the angle? So please write before we find the angle. The cosine of the angle theta is 0. If the dot product is equal to 0, the cosine of the angle is 0. If the dot product is equal to 0, the cosine of the angle theta is 0. Are you there? If the dot product of the two vectors is equal to 0, the cosine of the angle theta is 0. Have you written that? Two vectors are said to be mutually perpendicular if their sine of angle between the cross product of the two vectors is 0. Two vectors are said to be mutually perpendicular. I'm trying to explain what happened here. Two vectors are said to be mutually perpendicular if the sine of angle between the cross products of the two vectors is 0. Open a bracket. Theta is equals to 180. Two vectors are said to be mutually perpendicular if the sine of the angle between the cross product of the two vectors is 0. Open a bracket. Theta is equals to 180. You close the bracket.
So please can you come again?
Two vectors are said to be mutually perpendicular if the sine of the angle between the cross products of the two vectors is 0. Open a bracket. Theta is equals to 180. Theta is equals to 180. Can I claim? Now let's check something. Let's check if what they are saying is true. Be fast, be fast. So what they're trying to say is that once you sum this up, that once you do dot product of any vector and it's giving you 0, that there is no angle between them, that the angle between them is 180. That is what they're trying to tell you, that the cosine of the angle is 0 and that the sine of the angle between them is 180. That is just what I read out to you. I said two vectors are said to be mutually perpendicular if the sine of the angle between the cross product of the two vectors, that is when we find the cross product of the two vectors, is 0. That is theta is equals to 180 degrees. The dot product is equal to 0 if the cosine of the angle theta is 0. So have you written that?
No.
Why? What are you waiting for?
The last side, the last.
Shemi, you know you people are wasting our time. What's the time? Two vectors are said to be mutually perpendicular if the sine of the angle between the cross products of the two vectors is 0. Open a bracket, theta is equals to 180. I said the dot product is equal to 0. That is the cosine of the angle. Theta is 0. Two vectors E and H are said to be mutually perpendicular if the dot product is equal to 0. That is the cosine of the angle theta is 0.
That is the thing that you write in the word and formula here.
Can I do?
Yeah.
This formula that I wrote here, E dot H is equals to magnitude A, magnitude B, cos theta. What formula is this? Eh? What formula is this? This is the formula for finding the angle between the dot products, right? Copy it. That is what I mean. This is the angle for finding the magnitude of the dot product. And here we are getting that E is equal to what? E dot H is equal to what? Our magnitude of A is what?
So you have changed the alphabet that we use.
I should have.
That we have changed the sign. Yeah,
Okay, is this your problem? But do you know that we can even stay here and maybe balance out so that we will get our cos theta. When we now reach, we will substitute. Since we say that E dot H is equal to magnitude of E, magnitude of H cos theta, do you know that this is the same thing as saying divide both sides by magnitude of E and magnitude of H? So that this becomes Shebi? So that this can cancel this. So that I now have that cos theta is equals to E dot H all over E. I'm not supposed to be doing this thing I'm doing, you see this thing we are solving. I'm not supposed to be solving it, but I want to solve it because of the fact that some people still don't understand what we are doing. Now, watch. Can I clean? I want to clean this. Now let's check. Our E dot H, is equals to what? Our magnitude of E is what? 9.8. Our magnitude of H is what? 1104. Like this, Shebi? Cos theta. You are a child of God. No matter what you multiply here, as far as you are going to have 0 divided by what you get, your answer is going to be what? Are we together? Yes. So that is why I said that once you see it, the angle between them is now 0. Can I clean this? Do fast. Shebi, you remember I said I'm coming. Shebi, you remember that I said that anything divided by 0, let's say 1 over 0 is undefined, Shebi. But 0 divided by anything is what? 0. So when we finish this now, before we get to this, our final part, I want to teach you the sine, cosine, tangent of special angles so that we can now use it to know what we are having. Can I clean this? Do fast now, be fast. I can clean this part. We got this formula from E dot H is equals to magnitude of E, magnitude of H, cos theta. This is where we got this formula. So when we tried to make cos theta subject of the formula. Making cos theta subject of the formula, we now divide it by magnitude of A of E and magnitude of H, so that we now get this. So copy fast, copy fast. I want to clean this. I'm coming. I want to clean this. In finding the sign of special numbers, we have 0, we have 30, we have 45, we have 60, and we have 90. Let's call this sign. Let's call this cos. Can I clean this?
Yes.
Let's call this time. If your mind is not here, you will not follow the class. Your mind have to be here. You have to be here. Don't be here and be somewhere else. Don't be here and be somewhere else. If you are here, be here. It's not, if you are here, you will not be here. But when you feel like a point has been made, you wake up. Then you ask me, sir, how did you get this? On your watch. I taught you this earlier on. What I need to do now is to come and say, write 0 all over 4. These are numbers you know. 30, 45, 60, 90. How many are they? 4, Shebi? So for each one I'm doing over 4. So 1 over 4. 2 over 4. 3 over 4. 4 over 4. Now, this is shortcuts, how to know these angles I'm giving you. Now, square root all, square root all, square root all, square root all, square root all. So that if I square root all, do you remember that square root of 0 is what? 0, Shebi. Square root of 4 is what? 2, Shebi. Now 0 over 2 is what? This is going to be equals to 0. So sine 0 is equals to sine 0 is equals to 0. Now, this is the same as root 1 is equals to what? Square root of 1 is equals to what? Square root of 4 is equals to what? This means that sine 30 is the same as 1 over 2. This is the same as root 2 all over root 4. Shebi? Root 2 is the same as root 2. Because if you do it, it will give you fractions, that is irrational numbers, running indefinite. So let me just carry my root 2 and come back. So this is now 2 over 4, which is equals to root 2. Square root of 4 is what? So root 4, sine 45 is the same as root 2 over 2. This is the same as root 3 over 2. Shebi, you know. Now, if I have root 4 and I have root 4, square root of root 4 is what? 2. And square root of 4 is what? 2 over 2. So sine 90 is equals to 1. Sine 90 is equals to 1. Sine 90 is equals to 1. Wisdom will not kill you. Sometimes when I'm teaching students, their problem is to prove a point. That is what they call being myopic in understanding. You have to pay attention, get the total point first, before trying to assert your own. Now watch. The rule said that the minute you've gotten these angles, that everything on this end, that you should reverse it. But since I've moved this way, that everything I have for sine, I should reverse it. So that means that this is 1 there, Shebi. So that 1 that is at sine 90 will be 1 here. This is the second thing here, Shebi. So that I now have root 3 over 2. This is the third thing here, Shebi. This will be root 2 over 2. This is the fourth thing here, Shebi. This will be 1 over 2. And this is 0. Now let's check. That means that, see, cos 0 is equals to what? 1, Shebi. Cos 0 is equals to 1. That means that cos inverse of theta is simply the same thing as saying taking back this to get 0. Watch. If cos 0 is equals to 1, Shebi, it now means that this is not going to be, if I reverse it, this is not the same thing as saying if theta is equal to cos inverse of 1. That means I will take it back to mean 0. So cos inverse of 1 should give me 0. So the cosine of the angle will always be 0. Once you find out that the dot product you have is 0, your cosine, the angle between them, is 0. So since cos 0 gives me 1, the cos inverse is 0. It's just like if cos 30 gives me root 3 over 2, the cos inverse is 30. If cos 45 gives me root 2 over 2, the cos inverse is 45. If cos 60 gives me 1 over 2, the cos inverse is 60. Are you there? Yes. So the answer to this question, when you do this for me, punch this. We are going to find the third one, the remaining one, but I wanted to use this to explain it to you. So how to find these angles, the special angles, is simply to do 0 over 4. That is 4 over 4, meaning from 30 to 90, there are 4 of them. Now you now do 1 over 4, 2 over 4, 3 over 4, 4 over 4. You square root it. Whatever answer you have, by the time you're through with your answer, whatever answer you have, going this way, reverse it. That is your cos. So check it now. If I have that this is 0 here, that means that when I reversed it, I now started from 0, 1 over 2, with 2 over 2. Are you understanding this? If they play, if you look well, you understand it. So if I ask you, sine 0 is what? Sine 0 is what? Sine inverse of 0 is what? Sine 30 is what? Now, sine inverse of 1 over 2 is what? Are you understanding it now? Yes. So, please, I want you to do this for me. Punch this, let me see what you have. Do 9.8995 times 9.1104. What do you have? 90.1884. Like this? Yes. Well, copy. Equals to. Now, do you know that this is the same thing as saying theta? Should you know that everything here will be equals to 0? Are you aware? Equals to 0. So that my theta now will be equals to cos inverse of 0. And cos inverse of 0 is what? Hey, cos inverse of 0 is what? Cos 90 is 0. Shebi? So cos inverse of 0 is what? Are we together? And when I have that 90, what's your answer? Hello. Are we looking here? So cos inverse of 90. When I have the cos inverse of 90, I will get what? When I have the cos inverse of 90, I will get what? And when I have the cos of 0, I will get what? Are we making small sense? Yes. So please, copy. And you know that anything that has to do with 90, please, watch. If this is 90 degrees, if this is my 90 degrees, it now has to do with my y-axis. That means my x-axis is going to be what? My x-axis is going to be what? If I have a displacement that is 90 degrees this way, 90 degrees this way, my x components, you know that x components talks about cos, Shebi? Y component talks about sine. So my x components, the angle of this cos will be what? Is it making small sense? So what I'm trying to teach you is simply the reason why we normally say that once you get it and it's giving you dot product is 0, that you take it that the angle between them is 0. So for that reason, since I know that cos inverse of 1 is 0, cos 0, 1, cos inverse of 0, because when I reverse this, in fact, can I clean? Can I clean? Watch it. This is equal to 0. I have cos is equal to 0. So my, let me say divide both sides, shall we? That is cos theta now. Divide both sides by cos. Divide both sides by cos. This is the sentence saying this go this becomes theta. And this is the sentence saying 1 over cos times 0. Shall we, you know? And this is the sentence saying, watch, this is the sentence saying cos inverse 0. Are you there? Are you watching this? Now, if I have cos inverse 0, naturally, cos 90 gives me 0. And if I inverse it, I get what is up. Is it hard to understand? Are you following this class? Organ? If I reverse it, I get this. So if I ask you cos 60, what do you have? 1 over 2. Cos inverse of 1 over 2. If I have cos root 3 over 2. Do you know that for me to have cos root 3 over 2 means that it's cos inverse? I am inversing it. So what it means in summary, the summary of what I'm trying to say is that if you have the angle and it's giving you this, anytime you are doing cos inverse, is the sentence as saying, go back to the angle and call it your answer. So when I have cos inverse of 0, is the sentence saying, go back to my angle, which is 90, and call it my answer. Now, that's my 90 degrees. Do you remember that this now is equal to 90? Now, do you remember that if, can I clean this? A student met me, copy, I want to clean. A student met me the other day and was saying, a man told me that if I have something like this, that I should call this one so thing, I should call this one so thing. You will now see the reason why we talk about that. I want to clean. Can I clean? Do fast. I'm not talking about this, I mean just this. Can I clean just this? Do fast. I saw you raising up your hand. Okay. Ask. Please ask your question before we continue. So, if I ask you, sine 45 is what? Sine inverse of root 2 over 2. Okay, what are you now? If I ask you, cos 60 is what? Sine inverse of cos 1 over 2. Is it making small sense? Now, I can clean. Watch. Anytime I have a right angle like this, watch. We are not done with that question, but I want to clear something. Anytime I have an angle like this, Shebi, you know that this is called 90 degrees. Are you aware? If I have this, and I call this, naturally we know that this is y-axis, and this is my x-axis. This is my x-axis. Do you know that everything that has to do with y is also called sine theta? Should I say that before? Yes. And everything here is also called what? Cos theta. Now, there is one formula we normally use. All St. Teresa Girls College. All St. Teresa Girls College. The only thing you need there is just all saints. That's all saints. Teresa Girls College. All St. Teresa Girls College. Repeat it. Say it. All St. Teresa Girls College. Yes. Another way to remember it is ABSU. ABSU. Street. today, child. If you don't remember all St. Teresa Girls College, you remember Amson Street today, child. You remember it. What this thing means is away. When you are going away from the angle, use sign. When you are going towards the angle, use cos. That is what it means. So why I gave it to you that way is so that you remember it. So away from the angle, use sign. Away from the angle, use sign. Towards the angle, use cos. Are we together? So for that reason, if I happen to have something, they give me that the displacement of something happened in this direction. And maybe they tell me that this is maybe 20 meter. 20 meter. They tell me that this is 20 meter. I know that this side and this side, automatically, this means 45. Shebi, you know, 45. But now, if they give me an angle here, instead of calling it 45, if they give me an angle here, maybe they tell me that the question come, or they say the question came this way, is having something of maybe 30 degrees here. It's having 30 degrees here. Once I see this question, and they tell me to find the angle, once I see this question, I know that what they are telling me is to resolve the y components. Are we together? Yes. Once I see this question, I know that what they are telling me to resolve is the y component. That is what they are telling me to resolve. But if they ask me to find the s component joy, there is something I will do. The reason why I see this question and I'm using the y component immediately is because naturally whenever you are finding angle, you ought to start your angle from this side. Our angle starts from 0 now and going this way. You ought to start from this way. Then if you want to go around, you go around. So the minute I see this place, automatically I know that it's going away from the angle. It's going away from the angle. That is why we say away from the angle, use sign. So when I see this kind of question, what I'll do is, for the fact that it's still within this enclosure of 0 to 180, so far as it's still within this enclosure of 0 to 180, what I'll do here is to simply come here, check the angle from this point to this point is what? 90, Shebi. I will now do 90 minus 30, which will give me what? 60. If I'm finding the s components, this is the angle I will use. Are we together? Am I making small sense? Yes. So once you see a question, we will solve questions on this, but I just want you to use it to note what we are doing in that question. If you see any question and it's giving you displacement and it's giving you angle, and this angle does not start here, it did not start here, and they ask you to find the angle, the component to use is simply y sine theta. And what is your y here? This displacement. 20. Now, what is your theta? Your theta is not going to be 30 again. Instead, you do that, your 90 minus 30 is what? So that I do 20 sine. But assuming this angle came in here, maybe I have something like 45 here. 45 here. Because I have 45 here, it means that as this circle is turning, that it should take up whatever it meets. I will do 45, then I'll ask myself, what quadrants did I cover before getting to this 45? What quadrant did I cover before getting to this 45? Yes, and you know that this 45 means that this is in 270 quadrant, Chibi. I'll do 180 plus 45. Are we together? Yes. Hope is making small sense. Yes. So that's away from sine and towards angle, use cos. It simply means that once you see a question given to you and an angle is indicated there, it tells you the component you are looking for. So if I just see this question, let's say I've not introduced all these ones I'm introducing now. I see 30 degrees, I see this. What is telling me to find the y component? And you know that y component talks about sine. But if I see this question, maybe there's nothing like this, and I see something like this. I see maybe 45 here, 45 degrees. What this thing is telling me automatically is that I should find the s component, which is cos. Are we together? So I will just go there and do 20 cos 45. Very simple. That means that any angle you are to find, anytime you are finding anything that has to do with angle, you must start from this point and go round. Are we still together? Are we still together? So if you don't understand it now, just write it somewhere. Absolute, strict, today, child. Then you write under it, A4, away from the angle, use sine. Once you see the question is showing you that the angle is not at that your position, it's out of position, and every angle should start from the base, that is from 0 going around to 180. Once you see that it's away from the angle, you have to use sine. So right away from the angle, use sine. Towards the angle, use cos. Copy it. Let's go back. Copy it. Let's go back. You see that you've started small now. You've started small to understand how to apply this to your vector analysis. I want to clean. Can I clean? No. Do fast. Watch. Do you remember that we normally say that tan theta is equals to what? Tan theta is equals to what? Opposite over adjacent, should be? That is 2 now. But do you know that that thing is the same thing as saying what? Tan theta equals. Do you know that that thing is the same thing as saying sine over cos? Do you know? Shabi, you know? Yes. Because this one is carrying opposite over hypo. And this one is carrying adjacent over hypo. Shabi? These two are dividing each other here. Are you aware? So cancel this, cancel this. What do you have remaining? Which is for tan, Shabi? 2. So that is why we normally say that it's the same thing as sine over cos. So now do 0 over 1. What do you have? So tan 0 is what? Tan 0 is what? Now, tan inverse of 0 is what? Are you understanding it? Tan 0 is 0. Tan inverse of this 0. In reverse, take it that you've not done it. This is what we give you. Now, let's check again. This is 1. This is 1 over 2 divided by. Should it? Watch. Divided by 3 over 2. Not the same. Shebi? Hope you are following. And this is the same thing as 1 over 2 times 2 over 3. Is it carrying roots? Yes. So that this now will be 2 times 1. 2. Then all over 2 roots 3. Should we? Can something cancel out? Yes. What can cancel out? So that I now have what? So that this becomes, sorry, 1 over root 3. What about this one? Root 2 over 2 divided by root 2 over 2. This is the same as root 2 over 2 divided by root 2 over 2. This is the same as root 2 over 2 times 2 over root 2. This will cancel this, this will cancel this. When everything cancels, is what? I want to clean. There are people that no matter what you write, they must copy it. It's good. Copy. Copy and copy and. Their own is just, I'm going there with my notes so that I can be copying. So you see, today is Monday. Good number of you came out. People that did not come out, do you know why they did not come out? Today is Monday, let me sleep. Yes. Sleep that they will sleep for eternity. You have a lot of years to sleep in this life. Yes. That time you will sleep, you don't want to sleep again. So if sleep is your problem, you have enough sleep. You enjoy sleep in this world. Can I clean? No. So once you hear there is class, brush your teeth, pour water on your body. In fact, the secret is, as you are still on your bed, you think it's heavy. But the minute you pour water on your body, brush your teeth, you feel so free to start coming out. Yes. And you try and eat something too. So you don't come here with your eye weak, brain heavy. You try and eat something. What about this side? Can I come in this side? That's the up part. So we want to make it known that after every class, we post video on our premium group. If you've paid, you've not gotten receipts, meet me today for your receipts. The receipt is available. If you paid, you've not been added to the group chat. If you've chatted Master Talk and he has not added you, chat me. Tell me I've paid. Send me proof of your payment. I'll add you to the premium group. So that anything we are doing in class, once we are done, we want to be videoing it. Once we are done, we'll post the video of the class to the group. Then weekends we'll solve our past questions on that premium group. That does not mean that the general group you cannot be part of it. So the general group, you are still free to be part of the general group by chatting me or telling me to send you the link to that general group. It's for everybody. If you've not paid us, I want you to know that, like I always say, by the end of the semester, there will be only one tutorial that students will be attending, and that's sure it. You see all these ones, you see people collaborating around, it's because they know you are still year 1 students. Everybody wants to teach you. Yes. After this first month, be checking out if they will still be around to teach you. Yes. So that is why we make it that after each week you've not registered with us, our price will increase. It's not a joke. After this week now, people that have not registered, the 5,000, next week it will no longer be that price. Maybe before your exam, you will see that our price is now like 15,000 or thereabouts. Yes. That way, we will know the people we are teaching that they are our own. So after this week, the price will no longer be 5,000. Just have it in mind. So if you are joining us, have that full assurance that everything that has to do with your chemistry, physics, maths, biology, and Hebrew will be covered. And if you came here today late, check the note for the questions we solved on biology. Copy it into your notebook. Any year one that comes into this school, hundreds and millions of people are teaching them. But it's after the first month we know which people are there as an academy and which ones came to just address the students because they are new students. So please, and please, if you've not paid us and you don't plan to pay this week, be budgeting 8,000 from next week. Yes. All right. I can clean. If I have root 3 over 2 divided by 1 over 2, this is the same as root 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. Should we? This and this can cancel out. This means that this is now root 3 over 1. And that means that this is root 3. Now, the next one is 1 over 0. 1 over 0. 1 over 0. And anything that is over 0, whenever the 0 is at the denominator, is what? Yes, undefined. It's an abomination for 0 to be at the denominator. Undefined. Undefined. So, once you know these special angles, why I'm giving you this is because as we progress, you'll find use of this. You'll find use of this. Even when we start teaching you complex number, arguments, polar form, you'll find use of this. Very important. Note it, it's not hard. Just do 0 over 4. Where am I getting the 4? 4 from the sum of that is if I check 30, 45, 60, and 90, there are 4 of them. So now I'll now do everything over 4. I now do for 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything all over 4. I put square root to get my answer. If I finish for sign, whatever I have for sign, reverse it for cos. Then for tan, do sign over cos. That is your tan. Alright, let's go back to our question. Can I come in? So we'll be able to get that angle, and we say that since it's at 90 degrees, that it means that the displacement is on the y-axis, and that on the x-axis, we have it to be 0 displacement. As we progress to more questions, you understand. Now check, what other question did I ask in that question? Cross products. Shebi? Now, the cross product of E and H is the same as E times H. The cross product of E times H is a vector product. Anytime you hear cross product, it is the same thing as vector product. And you need to know that this E cross H, you need to know that this E cross H, that anytime you are asked to find the angle between them, that this is the same thing as magnitude of E, magnitude of H, sine theta. Shall we remember it? Copy, copy. Now, you also need to know that anytime you are given anything on cross products, you go and check that question that I gave you. The unit vectors there are I, J, and what? K. Shebi? I in the alphabetical order. I comes before J. Is it true? What about K? So I'll now come on top of it and write I, J, and K. This is how you do unit vector. This is how you do cross product of vector. Sorry. Now I will introduce this matrix sign. So that I now check what are the values. What are the values of I that I have? Here. Why is it not cos? Now, remember I told you that if it's dots product, it's a scalar product, Shebi. If it's dot product, it's a scalar product. But if it is cross product, it's a vector product. And vector products carry sign. Why scalar products carry cos? Are we together?
No, vector products.
Vector products carry sign. Why? That is vector products, or you call it cross product. It carries sign. Why dot products carry cos? So that is why I now say that E cross H, or the cross product of a vector, E and H, is equal to the magnitude of E, the magnitude of H, sine theta. Sine theta. What's the time? Okay. Watch. Now, for I, check the question for I. What did I give you for I? Check. 9 and What about J? 1 and 7. Check if there's any sign there. Minus 7. What about you? Is there any sign here? Okay, is it complete like this? What about K? Minus 4 and just like this. Is it true like this? Okay. Now you need to note that whenever you do this, you need to note somewhere that what separates these two is a minus sign. Put it somewhere. And what separates these two is a positive sign. Put it somewhere. Note it. They are not important. They are not important. Just do that thing that I've done there. I said, okay, let me see if there's any definition to it here. Right. Notes. Are you writing? Notes. I cross I. That is I cross product of I cross I is equals to 0. I cross I is equals to 0. They get J cross I is equals to minus K. J cross I is equals to minus K. K cross I is equals to J. These things I'm giving you. Shabi, you know it's cross product we are doing. Assuming it's I dot I, it will be equals to 1. But I said that I cross I is equals to 0. And I said that J cross I is equals to minus K. I'm telling you notes, write it down somewhere, notes. Now, K cross I, that is like this. K cross I is equals to J. K cross I is equals to J. I cross J is equals to K. J cross J is equals to what? J cross J is equals to what? J cross J is equals to what? Any unit vector cross another unit vector is 0. But any unit vector dot another unit vector that is the same with it is 1. So the same unit vector cross the same unit vector is equals to 0. It's the dot that is 1. You can note it somewhere. That is why I don't like even this, but you need to have it. So J cross J is equals to K cross K is equals to yes. So K cross K equals to 0. K cross J is equals to minus I. K cross J is equals to minus I. I. K cross J equals to minus I. Now I cross K is equals to minus J. I cross K is equals to minus J. I cross K is equals to minus J. Now J cross K is equals to. Am I too fast? I said I cross K is equals to minus J. I cross K is equals to minus J. I cross K is equals to minus J. J cross K is equals to I. If you are not following at any point, even as I'm teaching, don't feel scared to ask questions. That is why we are here. If you are here, you're not asking questions, it means that what I'm doing here is called display, no longer teaching. Ask your questions. I'm here for you. No matter how I answer you, just know that Jesus came for people that are sinners, not the righteous. So we are here for people that don't know. So I said, let me repeat what I said. I said I cross I is equals to 0. J cross I is equals to minus K. K cross I is equals to J. I cross J is equals to K. J cross J is equals to 0. K cross J is equals to minus I. And I cross K is equals to minus J. J cross K is equals to I. K cross K is equals to 0. Are you there? That person, you want to swallow us. Should I say it before coming? Gary, candidate. Gary, candidate. There are some people that are indigent of Gary. Anytime they see Gary, they are happy. They will just be looking at Gary and they will be smiling. Yes. Please. Now what I said, anytime you ask to find the cross product of any vector, all you need to do is to write out the unit vectors. Now when you write out these unit vectors, come and bring out everything that you have under that unit vector that is, because in the question, I have 9I, Shebi. Then on the other side, I have 3I. Now bring out the J part. On that question, the 2, E and H. I have on the E part just a J, and that means that that J stands for just coefficient of it is 1. Then here on the H part, I have minus 7. Then I have minus K. I have K to be minus 4 on the E component, and I have it 5 on the H component. Now, when you are through with this, when you are through doing this, I said that you need to note that there are signs that separate this. And you need to know that I and J is separated with minus sign, and J and K is separated with a positive sign. It's very important. Now, you also need to note that for you to now do the cross product of this, the cross product of this is just like the sign that you are drawing. Look at this. Naya. Shebi, this is cross product. Not be so? The same way you write it, E cross H, that is the same thing you do. That is the same thing you do here. So anytime you are doing vector that has to do with cross products, they must give you these components so that you can work with it. So now I am advising you, but ask.
Like that minus and plus, I'm confused.
This minus and plus, don't worry. When we start using it, you understand. Just note it. You are confused, Shebi, but have you noted it that I said that I and J is separated with minus, yes, and J and K is separated with plus. That is just what I want you to do for me. So that the next time you look at it, you remember how, or should I say, what I said that bring about this minus and plus. Now notice something. Yes, now, the reason is that if you do I cross I, and it gives you 1, and it gives you 1, it means that it will no longer have direction, because this thing shows direction. Why I cross I is equals to 0 is because your I can never meet with this magnitude. At the end of the day, your answer for I will be there. It can never meet. If you dare to say your I, if you dare to multiply I here, in dot product you multiply this and this, but in cross product you don't dare to multiply this and this. So when you are doing for I, you take it that there is nothing here. It's just like when we treated heterotrophs in this morning, Shebi, we said that autotrophs provide their own food, and heterotrophs depend on the other, Shebi. For you to get anything for I here, it will depend on this. For you to get anything for J here, it depends on these two. For you to get anything for K, it depends on these two. You can never do anything with this. For you to get the cross product of K, you can never multiply these two. Are we together? That is what it means. So you get it into your head that for dot product, I can times I, and it gives you 1. But for cross product, it is an abomination for I to times I. Are we there? Now that is why I now said that you need to take note of this. You need to take note of this. The same way you call it cross products. Always take it that if you want to draw your own, and you are starting from the left. Anytime you are doing anything in mathematics, even LCM, always remember your childhood song. By the left, mark time. Left, right, Shebi? left, right. Always start from the left. So I do left, right. Shebi, I now told you, thank you for asking me that question. Now, I now said that it is an abomination for you to times anything in I. So when I'm doing I, this is a heterotrophic mode of feeding. Shall we understand? And that's why I said that everything in all these subjects they relate but differently. When I'm doing I, don't do anything with I, overlook I. Take it that I has no business here, but it's I value we are finding. So for us to find I will do left, right. What are they now? Yes, I will do left, right. So that if I do left, right, this is now the sentence I'm saying, watch. 1 times 5. Should you know? Not be so. Now, 1 times 5. Let me keep it to one place. Then, what about this one? Watch. Right, Shebi. So, minus 7 times minus 4 is what?
Plus 28.
Plus 28. Let me just write plus 28 one side. Plus 28 one side. Now, everything. 1 times 5 is what? 5. Now, let me just write 5. So that the children of God will be happy. Let me write 5. Now, if I write this 5, I will not cover this. This is for I. Heterotrophic. Anything around it, that is what he used to get his own results. It does not do anything to himself. Now notice something. Inside this, when you cross this, and you cross this. Now see, when you cross this, and you cross this, I need you to note that after you do for I, Shebi, the next one you will do is J. Shebi, when you want to do for J, you will put minus sign and do for J. When you finish doing for J, for you to do for K, you will now do plus. That is what this sign means. Are you there? But anything that is inside this bracket, because it means that you will do the first cross left and the right. Shebi, that is to show that they are separate. To show that they are separate initially, I'll put minus sign here. I'll put minus sign here. That means that if I put this minus sign, let me just do something here. Shebi, you still understand? Or let me know this for this one. Shebi, you understand that this thing now means that when this enter here, minus plus, which one will conquer? Minus will conquer, Shebi. But let me not do anything. Let me just be carrying it. Let's just be carrying it. When we are through, we now start simplifying. We now start doing the algebra. The key thing is to understand what we are doing here. So see, this is a heterotrophic mode of feeding. Shebi, you see that I did not play any role. Yes. So because it did not play any role, they worked for him. After everything, it will come and put itself to show that yes, when you work for me, it means that you are talking about I is cross products. You put your I. Now, for us to find J, we will sing that our secondary school song again. By the left, mark time. Left, right, Shebi. Now watch. When I'm doing for J, I'll come to J. Everything that is in J, heterotrophic mode of feeding. Ignore it. It has no business when it's for itself. Others will work for him. So that when it's for J, by the left, mark time. Left, sorry. Left, right. Shall you see it? So left first before right. So for us to not get J, now let's just put J here after we take it there. But not that it will be separated with minus sign before you enter it into this bracket. Or let me do it here. So that this becomes now 9 times 5. Are you aware? Yes. Which gives me what? 45. And over there somewhere. Let me write it somewhere. 45. Now, what about right? 3 times minus 4. Minus 12, Shebi. Now let me. He said it's minus 12, should he? Let me write the minus 12 here. Wait, this one, do you know that this sign is simply this? I don't want to carry it so that we will not have confusion. Let me just write it. I from J, we separate with minus sign. So I have 45 and I have minus 12. 45 minus 12. Left, right, left, right. Now, Shebi, I said to show that they are separate, you put minus sign before it. Anything that is inside that bracket, for I, everything that is inside the bracket after you've done left, right, put minus sign to separate the two. Left and right. Left and right. Anything that is inside J, put minus sign to separate the two. That is to show left and right, left from right. Anything that is inside K, put minus sign in between to separate left from right. So if I finish this now, I'll put somewhere here and put minus sign. Then let me close this. Then J will come and say, this is for me because I did not take part. I waited for you people to react. This is for me. So this is for J. Are we getting this? Are we watering this? Somebody said no. No. What's the problem? This part. Are you sure? If you don't understand this part, that means you don't understand everything. You've not been following us. Did you eat before coming? What did you eat? Oh, Gary? Watch. Watch now. See. I said, Shebi, you know it's J we are looking for. I said, once you are looking for J, the cross product of J, that's what J. Let me just separate this first of all. Once you are looking for the cross product of J, that you should come and do that J itself, all the value for J, ignore it. Now use everything around it. This is K now. This is I, Shebi. So J now, do as if you are not seeing J. It's as if I clean J out now. I now bring out I and K. Then I have 9 and minus 4. Then I have 3 and 5. Then he said left, right. When I'm doing J, just bring I and K out and cross it. When I'm doing K, bring I and J out and cross it. When I'm doing I, bring J and K out and cross it. So that if I do this, left, right, 9 times 5. Minus, that is my left hand side from my right hand side. 3 times minus 4. Are you watering this now? So that when I finish, this is 45, Shebi. Minus 12. That is what we have here. And I'll come and say that since it's for J, because it did not take part, I will write J. Now, when I'm looking for K, I will come. Ignore everything that is inside K. Ignore everything that has to do with K. Every business that K has, ignore it. Ignore everything here. So that I will come and bring I and J out. Now write 9, write 1, write 3, write minus 7. Now do by the left, mark time. Left, Shebi? Right, and so once you do your left, right, you come. If you do right, left, you are wrong. Shebi, you know. Because the sign inside is minus. A minus sign is not distributive. It will put you in trouble. So always remember, by the left, mark time. Left, right. Our teachers from primary school, they tried a lot. Some of us, the reason why our mouth is yellowish in color is because we didn't have teachers that came to class. So I am a pawn, ndonish one side, the bad breath one side. People that did not cut it. So our teachers, they tried for us. So that song, during secondary school, primary school days, this is where to make good use of it. Anytime in mathematics, anything mathematical, you see this against this, even in LCM, always do left, right, so left, right. So 9 times minus 7. Minus 63. Now, this is my left from, that is why when I will be teaching you integration, we will teach you the upper boundary and the lower boundary. Anything from another thing, you separate it with minus. It's not coming from anywhere, it's not magic. is simply left from right. This side from this side. Oh yeah. Now, this right, 3 times 1 is what? Now, this is I and J, Shebi. Which one did not take part in this? Okay. It's more like, see now, I and J is here. K is behind it. Come and put that K that is behind it. That is what cross product is talking about. After crossing, put what is behind it. So that I put K. So this is for K. K is minus 63 minus 3. Now notice something. Notice something. Notice something. Do you remember that I said that J and K share boundary, positive boundary, should be? They are friends. These ones, they are at war. They are fighting Israel and which one? Is it? Russia and Ukraine. No, it's Iran and Iraq. Gaza. There's one country that's like fighting with Israel. Philistine. But of recent, I know it's Gaza. Or is it something? Afghanistan. So this will now be plus. This will now be plus. Have you copied this? Copy. So if you reach here, you do plus minus 63 minus 3, you put K. Please, if you don't know how to do this, let me see your hand. You don't know how to do this,
But sir, this last one that you did now, that 3, I hope the 3 is itself is plus. Like after that minus.
You see this one? Yeah. Wait, let's check something. Shebi, this is 3. Guys, left is 9 times minus 7, Shebi. We got minus 63. Then we do 3 times 1 is what? 3. Positive 3, Shebi. Let's write the 3. Let's just write the 3. Now, this is left and right, Shebi. Left from right, I'll put minus sign. What are you now? So that is it. So, but outside, when you get your value of I, you get your value of J, you get your value of K, you need to know what separates it. You need to know that I is separated from J by minus, and J is separated from K with positive sign. So
that means that first one also is going to be minus also.
Is it this one? Is it this one?
Yeah.
Okay, this and this, shall we? Yes. Minus will kill plus, so that plus will disappear. Minus is too powerful. That is why if you put bad clothes inside clothes that is containing your white, that white may never be white again. Shebi, you know. So negativity always corrupts the good manners. That is why God says you don't sit with the ungodly. But in Nigeria, you must sit with the ungodly. The ungodly will be forcing themselves on you. Yes. Come and see my phone. Yes. So please copy. Let us be sure that once we are through with this, I'll give you one that you saw for me and you. We'll now enter vectors that has to do with just X and Y component. When you hear northeast, due west, west of south, south of anywhere, you know how to go about it. Copy. So when you get a 9 plus minus 63 minus 3. And you know that at the end of the day, anyway, we'll do it together. Copy. A parent called me and was saying, "Good afternoon. Please, my son said he's attending your class, but why is it that the price will have to go up? Fine, let me just tell you the truth. The reason why the price will have to go up for people that do not pay is that if you notice during weekdays, this place is always filled up. Should be, you know. So we need a situation whereby we have a targeted number of persons. And that targeted number of persons are coming because they are serious. It's not if we come, we pack heaven and earth and stay here. And at the end of the day, that heaven and earth is not following. Their energy, their breath will be spoiling what we are doing here. So, but when the price keep going up, if you are not coming, you feel like you don't want to come, they will stay back. But people that need it will be the ones taking their mind out to join.
So please, I have a question.
Is that it?
I have a question.
Okay, ask.
Now that's the last product of that K. You know we have plus separating J and that K, a plus sign. So after that plus sign now we have minus 63. After the minus 63, we have the minus separating the left and the right. And that 3 has a plus sign. So that's the middle one now. Minus plus has taken minus sign. So what of that plus now, linking J and K? Because we have minus in front of the 63.
We'll do something to it arithmetically. We'll apply some arithmetics to it. I'm coming. I'm coming, don't worry. So, please, how many questions have I given you so far so good? Take your assignments while we are waiting for them to go, and while you're waiting for me to fill up my mind. Take your assignments. Are you there? Are you there? Your assignments, right? When you get home today, find for me what average velocity is, because after vector, that's when we are entering kinematics. Find for me what average velocity is. Those of you that will do it and snap and send to my WhatsApp group, I like that, I appreciate it. I said, find for me what average velocity is. Find for me what instantaneous speed is. Instantaneous speed. Find for me what is average velocity, uniform velocity, uniform acceleration. That means that if you are finding for me what uniform acceleration is, you should be able to tell me that at uniform acceleration, this is what happened. That at uniform velocity, this is what happened. That at uniform acceleration, so thing is like this. At uniform velocity, so thing is like this. So you need to find it out. Now I said instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed. Are you there? Find for me what instantaneous speed is. Now, find for me whenever acceleration is given as a function of an equation, dash is done. Whenever acceleration is given as the function of the equation of a motion, dash is done. Whenever acceleration is given as the function of the equation of a motion, dash is done. Find it for me. Now, whenever velocity is given as the function of the equation of a motion, dash is done. It's only here that you get this kind of question, because sometimes you see certain questions, even the one that involves you doing integration and differentiation, you don't know that you're supposed to do that because they do not teach you that. So whenever velocity is the function of the equation of a motion, dash is done. Go and find out what should be done. So that before we get there, you not tell me, we not do it together. Now, whenever acceleration is the function of the equation of a motion, dash is done. Go and find out what should be done. How many have I given you? If you take, you see this? You see how these questions I've given you? Do you know all these questions I've given you? These are the hard part of motion. Every other thing you do in motion is very simple. You use equation to solve. You use the equations of motion to solve. But once you don't know these ones that I just gave you, If you see any question under motion, it will look as if motion is hard. Go and take that assignment serious. I'm talking to you from the angle of experience. Take the last two questions very serious. Now see, can I give you just this? Just this one. So whenever you are doing any cross product, always remember these two things. Now, do you know that this is having something as plus, and this one is having minus 63 minus 3k. Shall we? That's what is having. Now let's try to see to it. Let's try to look at it very well. Now, 5 minus 28 is what? Minus 23i. Now, notice that the minus sign is here, should be? Alright, minus 45 minus will turn to plus, should be? So this will change to plus. This will change to plus. So that this becomes 45 plus 12 is what? 57, shall we? 57J. Now, this is plus, shall we? And this is minus. Anytime plus and minus come together, what will happen? Shall we have also? So anytime plus C minus, plus is running. Are you aware? Yes. So this will change to minus. Now, 63 minus 3. Watch now, watch. Before I open this bracket, I almost...
You saw the one in the bracket.
Yes, I almost put you people in trouble because there's something we call blood mass, Shebi? So that now helps us to see. That now helps us to see that when you are solving your own, solve it putting these things inside bracket. Shebi, I did not put this thing inside bracket. Do you know what I would have done? I would have written minus. Then I now start doing 63 minus 3. Shebi, you know. So it's important to do this in any way you can, however it is you can, but to see that you are taking it step by step and orderly. So minus 63 minus 3 is what? Minus 66. Minus 66, sorry, minus 66. Now when I open this bracket, I'm seeing plus. This my minus will maintain its position. So that this becomes minus 66k. Child of God. If I say child of God, you say, Child of God. You will agree with me that this is your final answer. Yes. Do you know why? You cannot sum it up. Because if you sum it up, it is no longer a vector product. If you sum it up, it's no longer a vector product. So vector product is in such a way that at the end of the day, I will maintain its value, which is 23i. J will maintain its value, which is 57j. And K will maintain its value, which is 66k. This thing is not hard. What you look at is that in secondary school, some of us got our teachers no book, and they no book. But the people that used to pay them don't pay them well. That is why they come to class every day. They are teaching you only motion, velocity, average velocity. You will learn motion for like 3-4 weeks. Every morning, motion, displacement. Yes. But now that you are here, you need to embed this into your head and see that it's not hard. Some of those questions in secondary school, you ask them questions. Instead of them answering you, they will make you feel like you don't know book. You should close your mouth. Yes. But now that you're in the university, it is called Mahadum. Marahadum. And that is why we say that at Shaw A, we will impregnate you with knowledge. We will breastfeed you with wisdom. Yes. Yes. You were asked.
What about the situation where we have like
values like,
Like for example, in I we have 9, 3, or maybe 6 on that I. How do we
that means see what you're saying. The situation where I have fire, say what you're saying.
For example, for I we have 9, 3, and maybe 6. And then for J we have 3 values. For K 3 values. How do we cross?
For K, we have three values. Okay, let's say this is K, 6, 2, 6. Let's say this one is now what?
J
Equals to
7, 3, 5.
7, 3, 5. But let's first of all try to open this. Let's try to put this in the equation form. Do you remember that when we started, E is equals to what? E is equals to what? Guys, this one I will stop. 5 plus minus 4K, shall we? Child of God, believe you. It's not your 9I. 9I, shall we? Now, hedging go 3I plus plus 5 like this, shall we? Yes. When you hear cross product of 2 vectors, have you ever heard of cross product of 3 vectors before? Have you ever heard of cross product of 3 vectors before? Now there's something we call vectors in 3 dimensions. That is what we now call vector calculus. Vector calculus. So as long as it's cross product we are doing, we can never have this your value. Do you know what this your value means? This your value means that I'm supposed to have 3 vectors here. Shebi, you know, that is why I had to draft this out. And when we are doing vector calculus, it's no longer cross product we are doing, but this time we are doing something like this. Permit me to do this. In this case, what we are doing for vector calculus is now something like this. Where I have my x, this is x, this is y, and this is z. I go to 1, I go 2, before I go 3. We are going to do vector calculus. So in vector calculus, that is when you now use this. And you don't use this same method of matrix. Notice that when I taught you dot product, I did not use matrix. Shebi? What we did was carry the dot, this particular vector, be dotting this one. Carry this one, be dotting this one. Shebi? That matrix is just for when you have 2 vectors. And that is why they call it cross product of 2 vectors, which we call vector products. But when it's now 3 vectors, vectors in 3 dimensions, we no longer use matrix, rather we use what we call vector calculus. Yes. So, with that said, let's check if we finished answering this question. Did they tell us to find any angle? Did they tell us to find any angle for the cross products? No. They did not tell us. Check. Did they tell us? So they did not say find the angle between E cross H. They did not say that. But the situation where they said we should find the angle. Did they say find the angle between E cross H? No. Well, let's find the angle between E cross H. How should I go about it? Can I click? Shebi, I gave you formula to use when doing cross product of vectors. Did I give you? So use it. Let's see what you have. Can I?
Like that plus and minus that between the left and right. Is it constant or is it changing depending on the?
Is it what?
Is it constant?
Is it what?
The what? Like the plus that connects.
Is constant. Is constant. Anything vector. Once you see that it's cross product of vector, that's minus I and j minus. Or even if it's not I and j or k, they gave you the question. But you notice that there's a value, and another value, and another value. Between the first 2, the sign between them is minus, and the sign between the other one is positive. Yes. Even mathematically, it is said that mathematically, it is said that when you have plus, you have minus, you have plus, you have minus. This is the pattern it follows. Do you know? That is why when I say that if this is the value given to you, and the value is given to me there is for I, that means everything on I now, I have no business with checking if it's plus. The next thing I'm having is supposed to be a negative sign before this. So now, find the angle for me. Find the angle between, or the cross product, the angle between E cross H. What's your answer? Can I claim this? Can I claim? I want it to be that everybody is following how to do this cross products. Is everybody following this? Do you want us to take one more example?
Yes, sir.
I see. The cross products. What's the time? That's what we'll be determining for taking another example. 11:04. Okay. I'm supposed to enter chemistry, but see what will happen. Once it's 12, you tell me, so that we do electrical chemistry from 12 to 1 before we go on break. Oh yeah? E cross H is the same as magnitude of E, magnitude of H. That's time. See that, Shebi? Now, E cross H, this E cross H, Shebi, you know that this E cross H is what? Do you know that my E cross H now, if I'm to find my E cross H, is the same thing as saying magnitude of E. Did we get magnitude of E? What is it? 9.899. Let me check this. Wait, that 9.899 you're saying, is it for cross product or for what are you saying? Which one are you saying? Magnitude of E. How did you get it? How did you get it? E dot E. E dot E. Now that is what you are giving me to use here.
That's it. The E plus E is this value on the downside.
Eh? Wait, see. Shebi, you know that this thing means magnitude, Shebi? And this one means magnitude. Then I'm asking you, for us to find the magnitude of E cross H now, how do we go about it? That is, E cross H, that is, it should be replaced by, that is, we should have for E now, then we should have for H. So how do we go about it? Shebi, you know that we cannot use E dot E now, because dot is different from cross. So what I'm saying is, how do you go about this? Please, whenever you are asked to find the magnitude of E cross H, what it simply means is that if I have my E cross H, and we remember earlier on, can I claim this? We remember earlier on that we said that E here is the same as E dot E, should it? That means that this will be the same as E square and H square. Should you know? And you remember that the values, I have, watch, the values I have for E cross H is this thing. Shebi? That is the reason why when it's cross, all you simply need to do is simply your I square, your J square. This is what you simply need to do. So once it's E cross H, what you do is simply the value you have here, square it. The value you have here, square it, and the value you have here, square it. That's it. So please note that all at E dots, it is when I have magnitude of E, and you know that if this is the case, this is normal thing as square root of E dot E. But instead of dot E now, we use cross. Are you there? And which, if they are asking me to find this, is the same thing as saying the values I have here, square it, then get the square root. Am I confusing anybody?
Sir, it's confusing. Like, sir, that E plus H, I hope we are working to be this value of the example.
But wait, write this. Write this so you use it to remember it. Right. The magnitude of E cross H. The magnitude of E cross H is simply the square roots. Is simply the square roots of the unit vectors, of the square of the unit vectors. The magnitude of E cross H is simply the square roots of the square of the units of the vectors. The magnitude of E cross H is simply the square roots of the squares of the units of the vectors. Now, this I square, should you know that I square here means 23I. Are you aware? Yes. And remember that when we started, we made it that I will have its own value, J will have its own value, K will have its own value. Not be so? And we said that when we want to find I, that we don't use I, but we use J and K. And that when we want to find J, we don't use J, but we do I and K. And when we want to find K, we don't use K, we do I and J. Now that means that for you to find the magnitude of E cross H is simply this your value. Do you know that this I, when we did this thing and finished, that was what gave us this. And when we did for this, after everything between these two, that was what gave us this. Or that's what is giving us this one. Then for this K, we did this, and it gave us this. Shebi? Now, E cross H, to find the magnitude is simply do the squares of those unit vectors, then take the square roots. Are you understanding it now? If you don't understand it, in summary, all you need to do, or all you need to note is simply know that when I'm doing this, it's simply going to be for me to find my E cross H now. For me to get my E cross H, I will take the square root of my answers. The square root of the squares of my answers. For me to get this. For me to get this E cross H, I'll take the square roots of the squares of my answers. So that this now becomes E cross H is equals to minus 23 squared plus minus 57 squared minus 66. That's plus minus 66 squared. Shebi, you know that this is E cross H we are getting, Shebi? Yes. We need to know E cross H before we start finding the angle. Shebi, you know. Because this E cross H is equal to this. And when we now take this one subject of the formula before we can find the angle. So we need to find E cross H for us to be able to find this angle. That is what I'm saying. Go ask.
Like originally, like this is result that this result here is carrying minus, but those one in those square root is carrying plus.
This one? Yes, now see you are adding it up. Whatever you have, this, the square of this. See the formula now? This is the formula. It's not every time that this will have minus, Shebi, you know. It's not every time that I will have minus. But for this time around, I is having minus. So that is why I put the minus. Then I square it. I'm obeying the formula. Then add plus J is having minus 57. So plus minus 57. I square it. Then plus K is having minus 66. So at the end of the day, I square it. Then take the square roots. That is for my E cross H. Assuming, I'm coming. Assuming it's dot product we are doing. Assuming it's dot product we are doing. You know that a dot product is simply, for dot product it will be E dot H, Shebi? And you know that E dot H is simply bring E one side, bring H, use I of E and times I of H. Use the J value of, the value of E, J in E, times that of H. Shebi, when you finish, you come and do what? The square roots. Shebi, you know that's how we do it. So now we are saying that for E cross H, that you should simply use the values you've gotten from that, what's it called? That matrix to get this, because in your matrix, it was the value of E and H you brought together. We put out the values of E and H under I. We put it under I. We put out the values of J and put it under J from E and H. Then the values of E and H under K, we put it out and put it under K. So at the end of the day, we solve. So that means that the cross product is simply taking the square root of the answer you get from the matrix, which is what we are doing here. So when you finish doing that, whatever answer I give you, that is your cross product. You want to ask me something? Magnitude of the cross product. This is E cross H, Shabi, you know. This is E cross H, Shabi, you know. This is for E alone now. This is for E alone. This is for E alone. The magnitude of E